The Maestro boss came out of nowhere in this weekly update, and it was honestly a very pleasant surprise. I honestly prefer when they don't immediately show off the new cool content like what they did with Salt Chemist before the update even really dropped, right? It is really engaging, for me at least, when a community comes together to find something new that isn't even confirmed to exist by any of the devs. Also, it's great for us content creators because we get to make bag, but hey, that's its own thing, you know? On the topic of Maestro and his new weapon. Firstly, I gotta say, props to the devs. This boss is easily one of the more challenging bosses in the game. Which is interesting, because if you really think down to the fundamentals, his AI is pretty much just a bandit with pretty cool moves, right? But regardless, it still works and is fun to fight. One thing though, is that Maestro felt a little bit quiet during his fight, especially since in the dialogue that preceded it, he sounded excited to spar you, right? Maybe, just hear me out, but perhaps we could give him his own version of unnecessary theatrics, right? The charisma talent that lets you just say random bullshit, right? I think that would suit him a lot more than just silence. That's at least what I think, though. As for the weapon, I think it is quite fitting for a cursed sword, right? Only allowing you to use it one string or critical is pretty cool in my opinion. The weapon also seems to be based off of Zoro's cursed sword, which is very in character for the Deepwoken devs, as you know. However, the weapon only being usable during the critical also kinda stung for me. So, I thought of the idea of unlocking the true form of the weapon, right? Imagine a repeat fight with Maestro, where he goes all out to hone your skills of the weapon. Think about a fight that is maybe 3 times or even more harder than the current fight. Something that would even trouble the most skilled of players. This time though, the fight is a bit different. Because Maestro isn't testing your skill anymore, he wants to train you to perfection for your fight against the Lord Regent, right? That's the whole point of the fight. Someone who is worthy enough to fight alongside him and put an end to the Tyrant of Etria. If you lose this fight, which you definitely will lose for the first time, there's no way you're beating it the first shot. Your slot will be locked into the fight and you will be forced to fight him until you win. You cannot go anywhere else, nothing, nada. After the fight is finished, however, Maestro will take your sword, he unsheathes it, right? Allowing you to properly handle it, right? You can swing that bitch everywhere, right? But it doesn't have to stop there. Since the devs are planning to make separate fights for each main weapon variant, a similar fight for each one could fit perfectly. A dagger, a great axe, and a katana all unlocked to their fullest power, right? And at the end, it would all tie into the main quest to kill Lord Regent and take back Etria. If you don't think that's a fire idea, then I don't know what to tell you, man. At the very least, there should 1000% be a way to use the sword without the sheath. That's at least what I think. For a much simpler solution, maybe they could just let us change the stance of the sword, right? You just press Y and you can use it normally, like any other sword, right? Also, to the devs who have been working like all the time, thank you for cooking up some great food for us recently, right? I hope you continue the trend because y'all have been on a roll recently. I really enjoyed the past 2 updates. Conquest will be guaranteed in 2026, baby. Oh yeah. And thank you to my one and only member currently, Jim. Thank you so much for becoming a member, Jim. And as always, if you enjoyed my video, please subscribe. I'm so close to 3,000. Anyways, have a good one, guys.